Hello, folks. I'm your main interviewer, Johnny Blizzard. A special interview with Josh King. Now, tonight. Now, Josh, can you explain who you are?
Well, I like to say that I am one of the most charismatic people in PW. I like to give like 110% in anything I'm doing, and no matter if it's a promo or matches or any of that. Hence, shows what I've been doing since episode 1 and 3.
Very interesting. How was life growing up for Josh King?
Well, there's nothing really that much going on as growing up. I was just like a normal kid living in Boston who just wanted to be a wrestler growing up. So it's been pretty chill. I've done other stuff like basketball, football, and some other sports, but then it really wasn't something I enjoyed until I've actually watched wrestling, because I went to like one of my first shows before. This is when I was younger, and I honestly got clicked, and I have been researching day in and day out for just a wrestling show, and at some point I made it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who trained you to wrestle?
It was a Samoan named Isaac Fatu. Funny enough, it was a Samoan. I like to say Samoans are really there's a lot of Samoans that are in wrestling, and I think he was one of the teachers that really showed me everything of the art of wrestling. When it came to technical wrestling, simple moves like a wrist lock and arm bar and somewhat of those moves, and I got to further out with my wrestling, and I got to train more and more. Even when I made it to a show, I still trained with the same guy. And he's actually shown me other stuff that I didn't even know about, and he told me stuff that could happen in wrestling. So I actually dedicate everything from him.
It's actually very interesting. So in that case, what would you say is your favorite match?
I've had a lot of matches with so many people. But if I had to pinpoint my favorite, I would have to say it was in New York, and it was a tour it was in the New York Minotaur, and one of the competitors I faced was Lance Briscoe, who's also part of PW.
It's very interesting.
I honestly thought we both had the best match. We both brought the best in each other, and our chemistry was great. And that was one of the first times we've even wrestled.
Yeah. That's always the best thing about wrestling, is especially when they have chemistry with each other.
It's kind of rare.
Now on to business, though. Why did you join Premier Wrestling?
Well, at the time I was doing matches for little shows, and then I was just trying to find something else. And when I actually saw PW, because a friend mentioned it to me, and then I was seeking to try it out. Since there were supposed to be tryouts, but when I signed up for it, I didn't really get a tryout. I just got in. I guess because I guess they wanted a lot of people, and
I've seen your previous work.
It was. They probably did. I think so. Even I had friends in PW, so they were still there. So then I was like, okay, I'll join. And then since most of them really know my wrestling, and they actually showed tapes of it, I was able to join.
Wow, that's a really good accomplishment right there.
Yeah.
So, in that case, what do you believe you bring to PW, though? What do you believe you bring to PW?
I believe I bring out kind of the best in a lot of people when I'm in PW. For instance, our first match with Rylan Naoma.
Mm.
That match sparked out as match of the night when I just went on Twitter and then a bunch of people saying the match was great, and then they pointed out my match, and there was not even a clear winner, but they still loved it.
Yeah, that's how you know you have a good match, is that they don't even care if the other person wins. They just really have respect for both competitors.
Yeah.
Mm. So in that case, so far, how's it like on the road?
Oh man, so much. It's time consuming, really. It's like I have to plan out everything. Usually, I have to wake up early in the morning, whether it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. That is so stressful as a wrestler.
I feel you on that part.
Oh my god. Oh, it's just like I have to make time before this is mostly when I have bookings and like what time I'm supposed to get there. And since it's like every state, that's more time consuming. And then off my spare time, I wake up in early. It's either I probably go to the gym or just take a long jog and then try to.
I can bet it's even worse for when you're injured and you have to wake up in the morning.
Oh God, if I'm injured, I'm not going. I'm not. That's one thing. I'm gonna rest all day until I recover.
All right. In that case, you said about your friends there, Naoma, it seems. What are your thoughts on Naoma and Keith Marchard, seeing as you three are associated as of late?
Well, Naoma, I really like his style and things he does in wrestling. I feel like he is one of the futures of this company.
Hmm.
I believe that, and it's great. As if for Keith Marchard, there's something so off about him that I could see, but no one else even notices. He likes to be the friend in them. He tries to be friendly with everybody, but then
So like that classic movie villain, huh?
I guess, because it's kind of crazy how people don't notice this. And then when everything becomes serious and they're having a match, he's just a complete asshole. Kind of what I said in episode 3. He is an asshole. Because what he does.
I see. Well, other than that little issue right there, besides yourself though, who do you believe will be the top 2 in the title tournament?
That's kind of, If I could say who, I'd probably say, funny enough, I think no one would agree with me on this, but I say Alex Daniels. He seems like a person I'd probably go up in the ranks. Like, he's had matches where he's won.
He actually just won the latest episode of PW so far, actually.
Yeah, so I don't think he even lost yet. So he has that. He's pretty much undefeated. He's set. Well, technically, me and Naoma and Daniels are undefeated.
So what would you say is the other one, though?
The other one?
Yes, the other one.
What about
the top 2?
Of the top 2? Yeah. So, okay. Well, then I guess Naoma is also the top 2. Because he really has impressive matches. He has honestly great chemistry with anyone. He's probably one person I can see in PW that doesn't even have ring rust whatsoever.
It's very interesting. Now onto excelling after that point though. Who do you think would win the title from those 2 people?
From those 2, I'd probably say Naoma. He really knows people's moves. That's the strange part. I feel like I see him in the backstage area, and I see him just watching some people's matches. And then and he had like a notebook with him.
Studying.
Yeah, he's actually studied like everything, like spots, the sequences they like to start off with, their finishing maneuver, all of that.
Yeah,
That was
techniques to use, maybe to throw off the other opponents per se.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. I think he has the upper hand and knows everyone well. So he can probably win. Probably hell. Even I think Antonio Hogan has a chance, really. Someone out of this whole question, really. But he's impressive too. He's won his matches. He's also someone like Alex Daniels. He's won his matches. He hasn't lost. He's actually had the quickest match in PW.
Yeah, he even on our third episode, he just immediately got that win. He didn't even wait. He just came in.
That jumping cutter is dangerous. So
yeah, just land right on the jaw.
I hope you hit with that, but all right.
All right. Now here comes the interesting questions, though. Can you name anybody that you think is underrated and overrated?
Does it have to be like in the show or just anyone?
I honestly have not seen anything that defies saying that you have to say it outside, so you may say it inside PW or outside.
Okay, so I'll start with underrated first because that's way easy. I would have to say probably Kobayashi's underrated. He's someone that I actually enjoyed wrestling. I've actually wrestled him in Japan before. We were both part of a tour, and it was it's like a tournament, some lower Japanese show. I can't even recall because I've been to so many shows, like from Japan and Germany and all that stuff. But so yeah, he seems overrated. I don't think people see him as like a serious person at all. I believe he has the potential to be better, and I hope he recovers because of his match with Daniels. I think like he probably suffered a concussion. I think, and I hope he just has a speedy recovery. So, I would want to match with him too.
So okay. How about the overrated part, though?
I can't even say anyone in PW really. I have to go outside of the box.
Oh boy.
From someone else. So there's a lot of people, I feel like, from the other side that are really overrated. If I had to point out one person.
The other side.
Yep, the other side. Not even here. People say he's a rising star, but I see it for him to be overrated because he kind of did seem overrated. I say Joshua Phoenix.
Oh my.
Someone that I know that has a similar style to me in ways, but he's a submission type of guy. But once I looked at some of his matches, he had similar moves that I had, which is really weird. Before, he has a Phoenix Splash. He doesn't have it anymore, but he used to have it. He had that. He has the King's Testimony, which is my, spinning enziguri signature.
Are you saying that he's copying you, or?
I wouldn't say really copying me because he hasn't heard of me and I haven't heard of him at that time.
So it's indirectly then.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that someone that you would not know would have something similar to your style. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. On that topic of talent, though, what do you think is an up and coming talent that you tend to enjoy?
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's for the PW training facility that I went to. I actually pitched in that idea and it was made. So I was able to have scouted a lot of people and they got to tell their friends and they joined in. And some people that I really like in there was there's a guy named Ozzy. He's pretty good. Such a big guy. Like, we had like a little practice match, like, to see how he is, and man, he's like freaking
I do believe you're speechless over here.
I am kind of speechless right now because he's great. If like, oh my God, Johnny, if he was a wrestler, you would be intimidated by this guy.
I probably would.
But at the same time,
I was intimidated when I was interviewing Lance Briscoe.
Oh, Lance Briscoe's hilarious. But anyways, Ozzy, he is a monster. He's an actual definition of a monster. Everything he does is so devastating. He almost broke my neck in a match. I'm happy he didn't. Probably would have been taken out of episode 3, but I was able to manage and rest stuff the whole time. So yeah, he's interesting.
All right. But then, is there any regrets they have as far as past leagues or shows you've been?
Past shows and leaks. Yeah, actually. I hate to mention some of it, but I guess I have to. John, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the show Forever a Movement?
I'll be honest, I haven't.
Well, at the time, this was 2 years ago, I was doing a tryout and called the FAN blood test. What sounds like you're in a pharmacy. You're about to be tested positive if you're like...
FAN pharmacy blood test.
Yeah, that's what I like to call it. And actually, a few of the people was there. Some people like, well, let's see, like former, like, not former, but like there's some wrestlers like Sexy Sid Marco and Mad Attack. Who else? Nick Civi was, I guess, tried to make it to it, but his tag partner couldn't make it at the time, so a lot of tag teams really didn't like get accepted, except the singles competitors. And me, I was lucky enough to get accepted. There was a time, like I think 3 years ago, I tried out, but I didn't make it, and then I tried to do it again, and I decided to go under a mask. And
good old luchador.
I had to get with the whole luchador of my side since I am a high flyer. So at the time, they gave me the name of CVK.
What would you say CVK stands for?
The Cape Verdean King is what it stands for, but my nickname was the Hidden Maganata, which Maganata in Portuguese is king as well. So
I see.
So I really liked how that went on, and the way I've made it was great because of, I guess, all the high flying I've done in my matches. Actually, one of my matches are actually still up on the internet, so if anyone wanted to check it out, they could.
I'll try and see if it's there.
And so that's actually kind of a show I regret, because I did kind of get screwed off because of I think a storyline I didn't agree with, and then they decided to just like cut me off and fire me, and then I was just a free agent for so long. And then joining little shows didn't really make me happy, and so I actually came to PW.
I see. Yeah. Well, I got my final question over here. So, what do you believe your future will be in Premier Wrestling?
My future. Everybody in PW. And hell, not even just everyone in PW, wrestlers in general just want to become a champion. I don't want to become a champion. I don't really care to become a champion. If they give me the opportunity, then I'll take it, because that can better off my I guess, career. But what I really want is to be noticed.
Mm.
I just want to be one of the top players.
Yeah, some wrestlers, are so popular yet they just haven't really won a title, but yet their, persona alone just made them immortal. Well,
I,
anyways, thank you very much, Josh King, for joining us in this interview.
no problem.
All right, this is with Josh King.